Namaskaram. This is a very important video which can help you clear your CA final in the upcoming exams. Yes, we are talking about advanced financial management as a paper and how you can leverage this paper to complete your group 1 and even both the groups in some cases. So let us understand what makes this special. The first and foremost thing, the syllabus which is given for this particular paper is the least as compared to any other subject. Single module and 15 chapters, so it is easily doable. Not only that, even with this 15 chapters, there are significant chapters which has a decent weightage in the exam and they can be covered quite easily in a week's time. So these two aspects, less syllabus, easy to score, makes it a very viable and lucrative paper for many of the students to score an exemption, which will help them to get the aggregate in the respective group. And sometimes you can also transfer the aggregate to the second group. For example, last year around the same time, our super students, Manju and Hari, scored 79 and 75 respectively, which was quite helpful in helping them clear both the groups. There are more such examples, but even if you score 60, it will be significantly helpful to work on the aggregate. And this makes it the possibility of utilizing or leveraging the score in AFM makes it the most lucrative paper in the entire CA final syllabus. Now, coming to how exactly can we approach this paper? Now, I gave you an understanding of why it is important. Specifically, how exactly can you leverage this paper? Now, if you look at here, we have first taken the ICA weightage. In your mind, to keep it very simple, let me expand this. So, in your mind, the first 15 chapters are broadly categorized into three chapters each, roughly. So the first three chapters will give you at least 10 marks, slightly more than that. The next three chapters will give you 25 marks. The next three chapters, securitization, mutual fund derivatives, gives you at least 20 plus marks. And Forex, international financial management, interest rate risk management will give you another 20 plus marks. So you can pick up any one basket or any one segment of chapters and become an expert in that so that you can get 60% or 70% from a couple of blocks, which will help you to cover the aggregate easily. Let's say for some of the students, Forex, IFM, and IRM could be difficult. Then target only 8 to 10 after 20 marks. If you're good with securitization, mutual funds, and derivatives, target more marks in that. This is one approach which is given as per ICA. This is available here. And the second approach, which we have prepared, taking into consideration the time required for preparation and also the time required for attempting the exam, and most importantly, the scoreability factor. We have divided into AFM first 50 and AFM next 50. The first 50, we have the bunch of EG chapters. Let me expand it further. I hope this is a bit more clear now. Yes. So, first and foremost, startup finance is a compulsory question. You can easily get 4 marks out of it. Next, financial strategy and risk management. So, the first chapter and second chapter together, they give you a good perspective on the entire subject, although they may not be very scoring or they won't have a significant weightage. They're very important for you to build a perspective. You can cover them in literally 5 to 6 hours, both of them together. Next, you have advanced capital budgeting, an extension of what you already studied in intermediate. Coming to mutual funds, business valuation, security valuation, all of them carry 8 to 12 marks. At least on average, you'll get 40 marks out of these 4 chapters, or 35 for that matter. So together, this will give you a denominator of 50 marks, out of which you can easily score 30 to 35 marks. Okay, so this is the first 50, which largely works for most of the students. Now coming to the next 50, IFM is something which you can reasonably do it. Some students might find mergers quite easy because that's the reason why mergers is normally placed into the first category by many faculty. But here we looked into the average of time taken to complete the chapter and the possibility of scoring good marks on chapter. Accordingly, this is placed here. Securitization, derivatives, forex are relatively moderate to hard. Again, it will change from individual to individual, but this is the generalized perspective. So we recommend you to complete this segment first. You can slightly interchange 1 or 2 topics, no harm in that. So first 50, try to score 30 to 35. Second 50, score at least 20 marks out of 50 marks. That way, your 55 marks is assured. So this is one approach which you can easily follow, even if you're not yet comfortable in AFM. This is about the weightage. Over and above this, we also want your attention onto this particular aspect. AFM is one paper in Group 1 where the skill called evaluation synthesis, it's a super skill which gets tested. So more than half of the paper is based on evaluation and synthesis, not just application. So you have to be extra cautious in terms of applying what you learn, and most importantly, how do you synthesize the concepts across multiple topics given. So this is the reason why some students find this extremely difficult, but in general, this is a very highly scoring paper. Hope this is clear. Now coming to the overview, this is important. Before you start preparing the or going into the depth, it is important for you to know what exactly is the objective of each chapter in the syllabus. For example, if you look at risk management, what are the various types of risk and how you can identify and manage such risks? And if you talk about something like security valuation, you have to identify the value of security for making intelligent investment decisions. That is the heart of the chapter. And portfolio management, obviously, selection of securities and how do you build a feasible portfolio which will maximize the return for you. And something like derivatives is all about understanding the underlying value of the asset. So each and every chapter has a unique concept, unique proposition, which the heart of the questions are concentrated or centered at. So you need to first identify this. Even securitization, how do you convert the illiquid assets? So all these aspects should be very clear in your mind much before you dig deep. Okay, this is exactly how it is. Next, once you get the overview, it makes sense for you to write chapter specific insights at a detailed level. It will take only 2-3 hours per chapter for you. So this will give you the logic and concepts. The formulas are only facts. If you do not understand the logic and concept at the base level, you keep getting stuck. That is the reason why even after solving 30 questions, if 31st question comes, you may not be able to solve it if a logic and concept base is not clear. So that for that reason, we make sure the base is completely understood at a deeper level so that any type of question which comes in the exam can be easily solved. So step number 1 is getting the overview of each and every topic, and step number 2 is getting detailed insights of each and every chapter before you jump further into the questions. And finally, strategies involved. If you're reading it for the first time, how can you complete everything in 100 hours? If you're revising it, how can you complete everything in 50 hours? And finally, what is the best way to revise the whole thing in 1.5 day or 20 hours? So this is exactly how things will work. So hope you understood why AFM should be given extra priority. Please don't take this for granted. So if you're in a position to score anywhere between 55 to 60, that will help you to cross group 1, even though you score 40, 45 not it. And if you score somewhere in the range of 70 plus, it will also help you bridge the gap between the aggregate in group 2 also, because the score in IBS is not as certain as earlier it was for the elective paper. Hope this is helpful. If you want any other insights, please make your comments in the comment section. Thank you. Namaskaram.